Hello, Spring Hills. Welcome to church. My name is Dan Pound. If you haven't met him yet, I want to introduce you to my good friend, Josh Meyer. He's so talented, played quarterback in high school, plays a guitar, has a beautiful singing voice. Such a pleasure to be around. And Josh, I heard here at Spring Hills, you're starting something new.
Yes, Dan, we are starting a podcast.
Whoa, wait, what? Did you say pod race?
No, Dan, we're actually doing a podcast. It's kind of like
mistake.
a radio show.
Okay.
All right. So basically, as we're growing as a church, there's even a larger need now more than ever than to be intimate with our community. I had a wonderful conversation with a lady that you may know by the name of Pam Kimino. She brought some amazing things to the table about how we need to come together as a community, how we need to create an environment of intimacy where we can actually know the hearts and minds of our leaders here in the church. So we're bringing together what's like a radio show, but it plays on many, many different platforms like Apple Music, Apple Podcast, Spotify, Audible, anything from like SiriusXM Radio, all the different platforms. You have the ability to go on, and once a week we will play an audio version of our sermon, and then we will actually go deeper the very next day with just a few questions with the pastor. So in this case, if you're preaching one weekend, we would go deeper with you on some topics that you couldn't cover in the sermon.
Yeah.
To actually kind of just dig deeper and create an opportunity for more spiritual formation for our congregation. But also, what it is it gives us an opportunity for me to be invasive on behalf of the congregation to get to know your heart a little bit more.
I like it.
Yes.
So it will be recording here in this space, of course. And you said it'll be once a week after the speaker, usually Pastor Tom, gets a chance to preach. Will it only be 4 podcasts a month then?
You are correct. It is actually not 4 podcasts once a month. It's actually going to be 1 podcast each week with the pastor going deeper in conjunction with the sermon, which will be its own separate podcast. But then we're going to do something even more special. One thing that's very important, and G.K. Chesterton said this, is that every generation loses the path to life, and every generation is charged with its recovery. And the same thing is true for the gospel. And so what we're going to do is once a month, we are going to do a spotlight focus with either a ministry leader or one who has come before us, just like in Jeremiah 6:16, when we need to seek out the ancient path and have an interview with a founder of our church. It's important for us to understand the knowledge and the wisdom that has come before us.
Yes, I love it. That sounds awesome. I'm in. I want to listen. When are the podcasts going to start?
Excellent. So May 6th will be the first launch of the pastor's sermon. May 7th will be our first going deeper with the pastor.
Okay, cool. And so there might be a link on our website if someone wants to find it, or they can search something specific if they want to find the podcast.
You got it. Yes, there will be a link on our website. We will actually have QR codes all throughout the church as well for you to actually scan and go directly either to Apple Podcasts or Spotify. But any platform that you're interested in using a podcast for, you can actually just search Spring Hills Podcast and you will find our podcast called You Matter, which is the whole point of what we're doing. Because here at this church, you are welcome here, you are loved, and you matter.
I love it. Thank you so much, Josh. And thank you again for coming this weekend. Hope to see you soon.
Take care.